Okay. Today we'll discuss about Docker. Today we'll discuss about Docker. How Docker will be implementing in the real-time industries. Okay, I will show you. Every Docker consists of a repository. Docker consists of inbuilt repository. Inbuilt repository. In the repository, which image you want, that image we will pull that image. We will pull and push the repository. Push the repositories. Okay. In this class, we will discuss about how to create a Docker file, and we need to run the Docker file. In the Docker file consists of apt update and install a Python application. Install a Python application and verify using curl command and assign port number to the container. Why suddenly container comes? We will create a container. In the container, we will assign port number on it. By default is 8080 is the port number. Okay. By using docker run is the command to create the container. Docker run container name -p something and something slash something. Okay, that's it. Under docker exe /sbin container name /bin /sh. This is entering into the container. Okay, this is This is in this image day 1. In this image, I created one Docker file, same. This is nodes, and I created one Docker file. In the Docker file, this is Ubuntu. I will explain. From Ubuntu, 22 is the machine. Now currently we are in 24 Ubuntu. Now in this Docker file, Ubuntu 22 and update, first run update and apt install in Ubuntu 22 machine, and we need to get update command and install Python application, and we can copy the temp folder app.py into temp. After that, we can assign expose means assign the port number in this particular application. Okay. Now we are doing here from Ubuntu. See, I will explain clearly. I will explain. From Ubuntu is the base image. Okay. This is install Python 3 and Flask. Copy app code into the container. This is okay, and document in that user port, and flash, save and exit. You can verify Docker images. Is there any images are created? No image is created. Okay, list. Now I will build the Docker image. Why I will open Docker file. Okay, this is the Docker content, and I will use the command Docker build to build the command, and this is file name, this is version, and this is current directory. Okay, build is the command to build the Docker file. Docker file, we can name spaces continuation. Sudo okay, vim Docker file. Docker build. Docker images. Image is not created. lab user in this vi docker file and docker file. Okay. Yeah, pipe is not found. It will source. You can create. See app.py. We need to create, right? This is we need to create app.py. Okay. That is vi app.py and that paste this. Okay. Container. After that, you can use build an image. Okay. Now Docker images. This is the Docker image. You can create the container by using Docker run command to create the container and assign the port number for the container. Docker exe is the command to enter into the container. You can copy the files also. Same thing. Build completed. We can assign the container. My name is the container. I will explain that. Docker run -d -name my container and -p means assign the port number. 3 assign the port number and this is the name of the container name. This is the container docker ps space -a. This is the container. You can enter into the container docker exec slash and exec my container slash sbin slash bin slash sh. Okay. Uh, exe repositories first. Okay. Now you can go to that. Name is the container. This is port and this is build. Current localhost 8080. Hello container world. Okay, application is accessing. Now Docker logs my container to check the logs of the container. This is the container. Warning, restart, build, everything need to be there. Okay. Docker stats, Docker stats. This is the stats means container CPU utilization limit. Everything need to be there. Docker ps space hyphen a. This is the container. Docker exec slash sbin base. I will show you. Docker psa docker run already completed, and hyphen et I forgot. Okay, that is the mistake. Hyphen d shit. Hyphen et my container and a bash. Okay, enter into the container. cd slash tmp. You can go to here. See, copy or not app.py. Yes, it's copied. Like that is the command. That is the Docker file we need to install, and we can remove the Docker image. Okay, Docker ps space hyphen a. We can exit this. Okay, and Docker ps space hyphen a. Docker rmi remove and containerization. So Docker space images. This is Docker rmi image id. First we need to stop Docker stop container. Okay, Docker rmi Docker images. Docker rmi Docker stop. Already stop it, right? Why using here again? Docker stop. Okay, Docker images. Docker rmi. we need same thing I explained, Docker. Hyphen force. Okay. Hyphen force. Deleted image. Okay. Docker images. No image is found. Okay. Go to here. Go to the GitHub. Every GitHub separate repository is available. Docker Hub. You can push the image into the Docker, or you can pull image into the Docker. Okay. Now we have tag the image. Now here Docker, and I will remove this. Now build Docker ps-a Docker rm remove container name, remove it. docker ps space -a removed. Now we can create the docker images. Image is created. Okay. Now you can run this. Now we can run this Ganesh 7182 and we can run application docker tag. After the tag means alias in the tag on docker images. You can use docker login. Okay, Ganesh 7182 password. You can enter the password. You can verify login success. Okay, login is success and we can use docker push command. Docker push and we can use repository Ganesh 7182 referring preparing the repository and add into the repo in the GitHub repository. Now we can reload the page. See, less than a minute ago. Okay, public. This is Docker image. You can create Docker push completed to verify this. This is repositories. You can wait here. See, test. This is 1.0 tag. You can verify here. Okay, like this. You can verify list of all containers, Docker SPF and RM images and confirm full. And now we can run Docker run private. We can use public and private repositories. Then copy docker rm. Okay, now you can run the private image already allocated docker ps space hyphen a docker stop okay docker images docker rmi was docker images docker ps space hyphen a docker rm space copy words. Okay, docker docker rm. Now copy and paste hyphen force. You can read a docker. Now you can run the command docker run private. You can create the private repository and docker images. This is the image created registry to images, image name and registry you can create. And now docker push command is there and docker tag. You can assign the tag docker images. Now dot now created the tag docker ps space hyphen a. See status and a private IP address and all the things. After that, we can push the repositories. Use dot means docker file is there. Okay, that's now I will refresh. Yes. So many races are there. We can test the repository. Okay. Now we can pull the image dot and docker stop private docker rmi sorry rm docker ps space hyphen a. Okay, not there. Now check the registries. How to create the volumes, and we can check docker volume il. This is the volumes. This is the default volumes, local volume a, and create the volume by using docker create command. Docker create volume to create the docker volume. Docker volume ls. This is the docker volume I created recently, and go to list. Okay, and check the status of the volume. This is the volume. You can give in between sudo, and we can access this, and and we need to create the docker space ps space hyphen a. It will create the container and push. Okay, after that we need to enter three commands for creating docker and all the things we can see, right? Now full step-by-step layer management. The app.locker build -t and check images and docker build and log in the docker and docker push, and this is the layers. First Ubuntu and install, copy and temp expose, and that is the thing. Okay, that is the thing happened. This is the docker creation, and I enter how it will enter the dockers and all the things. Okay,